Hello friends, welcome to Global Online University. I am Bahubali Desai. This is our 14th mock test on MCQ series for paper 1 for UGC NET and various set examination. Friends, this test is also having 50 questions and each question will carry 2 marks, and whenever a question appears on the screen, pause the video and try to answer the question. Then you can check the correct answer. Friends, we have already released our schedule for the mock test series, and already we have released 7 mock test series, and our next mock test series is coming on full topics. On all the topic it is coming on 13th by 2020. If you haven't registered yet, please go to our website and register first. And all these mock test series are available only at rupees 99, and I am sure all these mock test series will boost your preparation and also help in bring success in your examination. We will provide you 20 mock test series at rupees just 99. So enroll fast. So let us start our today's mock test. Friends, the question is, the most desirable skill of teacher is to: option A, make the students understand what the teacher says; option B, cover the prescribed course; option C, keep students relaxed while teaching; option D, keep higher authorities informed about the class activities. Friends, which is the most desirable skill here? Make the students understand what the teacher says. So answer is option A is the correct answer. It is the most desirable skill because the students have to understand what the teacher is saying. So it is the most desirable. Understand. Other answers B, C, D are also correct, but the most desirable, the most important is the students have to understand the lecture given by the teacher. Now we'll go to the next question. Which of the following method should be used by each teacher? Option A, analytic synthetic; option B, synthetic to analytic; option C, only analytic; option D, only synthetic. Friends, which method all teachers should use? The method is analytical synthetic. Option A is the right answer. I hope you knew this. Friends, in analytic method, it will start from unknown to known, and here analysis means breaking up. In analytic method, what the teacher will do, he or she will break up the unknown problem into simple parts, then see how these can be recombined to find the solution. So here a teacher can start what is to be found out and then think of further steps or possibilities. Then synthetic method is opposite to analytic. Synthetic method will start from known to unknown. First, teacher will discuss the known concept of the students, then he or she will go to the unknown concepts. It is completely at authoritarian level. Teaching is option A, teacher centered; option B, child centered; option C, headmaster centered; option D, experience based. Friends, authoritarian level means where a teacher want to maintain dominance, want to maintain discipline, and here a teacher will give students a list of restrictions. So here the correct answer is option A, teacher centered. Okay, in authoritarian teaching, a classroom management style that provides firm realistic boundaries for the students, and an authoritarian teaching focuses on maintaining high standards and projecting genuine. No child is expected to come into the classroom immediately start producing. Here some restrictions will be there, some rules have to maintained by the children. Here teacher maintains authority on students. I hope you understood this. Now we'll go to the next question. A new teacher to start with will have to option A enforce discipline in class, establish rapport with the students, option C cut jokes with the students, option D tell the students about his qualifications. Friends, here the right answer is yeah, discipline is also required, but a new teacher to start with, he teacher has to establish rapport with the students first. So option B is the right answer. Now the next question is, with the development of technology, the role of a teacher in future will be. Friends, the technology is developing. Now we are all studying through the laptops, through the mobiles, by watching videos in the YouTube. If it continues in this way, when the technology develops, what will be the role of a teacher in the future generation? Option A to provide information, option B to develop new textbooks, option C to guide students to use the internet in teaching. Friends, the technology, how the technology is developing, so the role of teacher will be only to guide the students, because students will study by the internet by using their mobiles, laptops and all. So a teacher in future, the teacher role is only to suggest. So option C to guide students is the right answer. Now we'll go to the next question. Symposium is a type of option A discovery method, option B discussion method, option C lecture method, option D demonstration method. In discovery method, students will discover a new thing. Discussion, students or a group of students will be discussing on a given. And symposium, it is a meeting or conference for the discussion of some subject, especially a meeting at which several speakers talk on. So here a teacher will give some concept to the students and the group of students will be busy in discussing, is known as the symposium. Okay, now the next question is, which of the following combines scopes of large group, small group and individualized teaching methods? Option A group discussion, option B differentiated instruction, option C brainstorming, option D none of the above. Friends, when a teacher is combining large group and small group and also individualized teaching methods, he is known as the differentiated instruction. So answer option B is the correct answer, differentiated instruction. Friends, differentiated instruction in education, it is a framework for effective teaching, and differentiated instruction, it involves providing all students within their diverse classroom community of learners a range of different avenues for understanding new information in terms of acquiring content, processing, constructing or making sense of ideas, and a teacher developing teaching materials and assessment measures so that students within a classroom can learn effectively regardless of differences in ability. Okay, now I hope you understood this. Now we'll move to the next question. Which of the following gives more freedom to the learner to interact? Option A use of film, option B small group discussion, option C lectures by experts, option D viewing countrywide classroom program on TV. Friends, which of the following will give more freedom to interact? Option B small group discussion, where group of students are discussing on a given topic. Use of film, students may only observe. In lectures, students will become passive. Viewing countrywide classroom program on TV, Students will not be engaging in discussion. So small group discussion is a method where learners will interact. So option B is the right answer. Now the next question is, students can be classified into four types on the basis of their learning. Which one of the following seeks meaning and reasoning to the learning? Friends, meaning and reasoning to the learning is related to option A, innovative learner, option B, analytic learner, option C, common sense learner, option D, dynamic learner. Friends, reasoning and meaning to the learning is related to analytic learner, is known as the analytic learner. And analytic learner, it is an approach to learning that uses prior knowledge of the learners as a base, which concepts can be described, hypotheses can be developed, and concepts can be generalized by analyzing. And analytic learning allows the learner to process information, and here learners will break into component parts and generate hypotheses by using logical thinking skills. Here the students are thinking logically, and they also use the previous knowledge, and they will break the concepts into different parts, then they will study, then they will generate hypotheses. So I hope you understood all. Now we will go to the next question. While presenting your ideas in a classroom, it is better to option A, recognize that there can be other views, option B, recognize that students are not a homogeneous mass, option C, take dissenting views also in consideration. Friends, here the right answer is option D, all the three. While presenting your ideas in a classroom, you have to recognize there can be other views, that students are not homogeneous, take dissenting views also in consideration. So all of the above, option D is the correct answer. Now we'll go to the next question. The question is, find the missing number in the following series. The series is 2, 7, 17, 32, 52, 77. We have to find the next upcoming series. So options are option A 107, option B 91, option C 101, option D 92. Friends, let us go to the solution. Friends, just observe the pattern here. 2 plus pi 7. Okay, to get 7, they have added 5 to the first series, that is 2. Okay, 2 plus pi 7. Next 7 plus 17 is, okay, they have added again 10 plus 10, then 17 2. Okay, 7 plus 10 is 17, then 17 plus 15 is 32. Here they have added 15. Okay, next 32 plus 20 is 52. Again they have added 20. And 52 plus 25 is 77. So again here they have added 25. Okay, see here friends, here they have added 5, in the next they have added 10, next they have added 15, 20, 25. So in the next series we should add 30, because here the difference is 5. So 25 plus 5 30. So we should add 30. So 77 plus 30 is 107. So the correct answer for this question is option A, 107 is the right answer. Friends, I hope you got this. Please practice more and more questions on this. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the comment box. Friends, let us go to the next question. Find the missing letters in the following series: W, E, S, G, P, J, L, N, and we have to find the next series. Okay friends, options are option A I, S, option B S, I, option C P, T, option D Q, T. Friends, first we will write the alphabets and we will assign the numbers. It will be easy to find out. Okay, friends, in every series let us write the first alphabet. Okay, W, S, P and L. Friends, see here, where is W? W is at 23rd position and S is at 19 position. Okay, they are coming backward. W to S. The difference is 1, 2, 3 and 4. So here the difference is -4 and again S to P. S is at 16 position. It means the difference is -3. Then P to L. Friends, again from P to L the difference is 1, 2, 3, 4, again -4. I think you have got the pattern here. -4, -3, -4, then next is -3. 1, 2, 3. So the next alphabet will be I. So -3. So the next alphabet is I. Okay, now let us take second alphabets from each series. E, G, J and N. Okay, let us see E, G, J, N. We should find the next alphabet. Okay, where is E? Friends, here is E. Okay, next G. Here what they have done here, they have added +2. It means E, F and G, the difference is +2. Next from G to J. G to J. Again 1, 2, 3. Again the difference is +3. J to N. 1, 2, 3, 4. The difference is 4. Okay, the next difference will be 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is yes. So the next series is yes. So IS is the correct answer. So here the option A is the right answer. I hope you understood this. Now we will go to the next question. Friends, here the third question is education is recorded as NOITACUDE. Then red port will be coded as, options are given here, 4 options are there. Okay, let us see friends, let us understand the pattern plus. First pattern we will see education. Is written as NOITACUDE. Friends, here just the code is the reverse of the given word. The word is education, just they have written it in the reverse order. In place of E they have written N. Means E is the first word, the last word is N. The last word is written at the first place. Next O at the second place. I. Next T. Next E, then this C here, then U, D and E. NOITACUD. Okay, now in the same way we have to write red port. REDFORT. Okay, at the end T is there, so we will write it at first T, then R, then O, F, D, E, R. So the answer is TROFDER. So option A, TROFDER is the correct answer. I think you understood this. Now let us see the next question. Choose the word that is least like the other words in the group. The words are option A chemistry, option B geography, option C geology, option D botany. I think easily you can guess it. Chemistry, geology, botany are the branches of science, but geography is not the branch of science. So here the correct answer is option B is the right answer, geography. Okay, let us go to the next question. Friends, if F is the brother of A, C is the daughter of A, K is the sister of F, and G is the brother of C, then who is the uncle of G? Options are F, K, C, none of the above. Okay. Friends, if the F is the brother of A, okay, we'll write F here. F is the brother, means he is male. F is the brother of A. Next, C is the daughter of A. C is the daughter of A. Okay, C is the daughter of A. For female, we will give minus sign. Next, K is the sister of F. K is the sister of F. Okay, K is the sister of F, and G is the brother of C. Okay, G is the brother of C. Okay, now the question is, then who is the uncle of G? Friends, here C and G are brother and sister. Then A is maybe father of C and G, or maybe mother of C and G. Then who is the uncle of G here? K is not, because K is female. So F is male. So F is the uncle of G. So here option A, F is the correct answer. I think you understood this. Now let us go to the next question. Friends, town D is 12 km towards the north of town A. Town C is 15 km towards the west of town D. Town B is 15 km towards the west of town A. How far and in which direction is town B from C? Okay, let us see the answer. Friends, by mistakenly the answer is given here, option D, but let us solve it. Okay, first we will mark north, east, south, west. Okay, town D is 12 km. Town D is 12 km towards north of town A. Okay, here we'll write town A. Then towards north 12 km D is there. Next, town C is 15 km towards west of D. Okay, town C is 15 kilometers towards west. Town C, okay. Town C 15 kilometers towards west. Next, town B is 15 kilometers towards west of town A. Of town A towards west, it is 15 kilometers. Okay, now the question is, how far and in which direction is town B from town C? Okay, here town B is there, here town C is there. See here, it is a square. These both sides are 15 kilometer, 15. Okay, then this side also DA distance is 12, so CB distance is also 12. Here in two options 12 is there, so easily we can eliminate two options here. Okay, next question is in which direction? Okay, from his town B from town C, means from town C it is at the direction of south. So here answer D is the correct answer. Okay friends, by mistakenly the both the options are same here. Okay, don't worry, I hope you got it how to solve it. Let us go to the next question. Friends, A, B, C, D, E are sitting on a bench. We will solve it while reading the question. Okay, A, B, C, D and E are sitting on a bench. A is sitting next to B. Okay, A is sitting next to B. Okay, here B is there, then here A is there. Next, C is sitting next to D. Okay, we'll write it later. That D is not sitting with E. Okay, D is not sitting with E, who is on the left end of the bench. Okay, E is at the left end of the bench and he is not sitting with D. Next question is C is on the second position. C is on the second position from right. Okay, C is on the second position, means he, okay, here C is there, he is at the second position, means here someone is sitting here. Okay, now who is sitting here? Okay, next C here, C is sitting next to D. Okay, here D is sit, then here D will come. Next, A is to the right of B and E. Okay, A is to the right of B and E, it is right. Then A and C are sitting together. A and C are sitting together, yeah, this is also right. Okay, in which position A is sitting now? Option A, between B and D. B and D, wrong. Option B, B and C, yeah, A is sitting between B and C. So option B is the correct answer. Friends, you have to solve more and more questions to be familiar with this type of questions. So let us go to the next question. If the milk to water ratio in a mixture is 2:3, what is the percentage of milk in the mixture? Very easy question, friends. To solve this, there are total how many parts are there? 2 parts is milk and 3 parts is water. So total 5 parts are there, 2 parts of milk, 3 parts of water. Then the percentage of milk. So the percentage of milk is equal to, the percentage of milk is 2, total parts is 2 plus 3, 5. So 2 divided by 5 multiplied by 100 is 40%. So here the correct answer is option C, 40% is the correct answer. Very basic level question. So let us go to the next question. If candidate scores 5, 10, 15, 25, 10 and 15 marks in different subject, calculate mean marks score obtained by the candidate. Mean is equal to, mean is denoted as x bar, mean is equal to sigma x divided by n, where sigma x is sum of all given observations, n is number of observations. Okay, no need to remember the formula also, friends, easily you can calculate. Okay, how to calculate it? 5 plus 15 plus 25 plus 10 plus 15 divided by 5. So it is 70 divided by 5, 14 is the right answer. So option C is the correct answer. 5 means here 5 observations are there, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 70 the sum of all given observations. I hope you understood this, and here the correct answer is option C, 14. Now we'll see the next question. Friends, if 1st October is Monday, then 1st November will be Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday. Okay friends, remember October has 31 days. Yeah, we know October has 31 days and 1st October is Monday. Okay, they have given here 1st October is Monday. After 7 days again Monday will come. It means 1st is Monday, 2nd is Tuesday, 3rd is Wednesday, 4th is Friday, 4th is Thursday, 5th is Friday, 6th is Saturday, 7th is Sunday, again 8th is Monday, again 15th is Monday, again 22 is Monday, 23 Tuesday, 24 Wednesday, 25 Thursday, 26 Friday, 27 Saturday, 28 Sunday, 29 Monday. Again this it is okay if you want to write also. 29 again 29 is Monday, so 30 is Tuesday, 31 is Wednesday, so next Thursday, November 1 will be Thursday. So option A is the correct answer. I hope you understood this. Friends, let me explain you once again. Here October has 31 days and 1st October is Monday. So 8th October is also Monday. 15th October is also Monday. So 22 October is also Monday. And 29th October is also Monday. So 30 is Tuesday. 31 is Wednesday. And after Wednesday, after 31, November 1 will come. So after Wednesday, Thursday will come. So the next day will be Thursday. Option A is the correct answer. The question is an example of physiological noise is option A, feeling hungry, option B, a humming air conditioner unit, option C, a lawnmower, option D, a speaker using complex terms. Friends, here the right answer is option A, feeling hungry. It is a physiological noise in the communication. When we say that communication is intentional, it means that option A, sender consciously intends to affect the behavior of receiver of the message. Option B, effective communication is a process of acting on information. Option C, through speech communication, people make sense of the world. Option D, none of the above. Friends, when we say that communication is intentional, it means that sender consciously intends to affect the behavior of receiver of the message. So option A is the right answer. Friends, the next question is public communication tends to occur within a more option A, complex structure, option B, political structure, option C, convenient structure, option D, formal structure. Friends, public communication, it occurs in the formal structure. So option D is the right answer. Friends, let us see the meaning of public communication. Public communications happens when individuals and groups engage in a communication in the public sphere in order to deliver a message to a specific audience. And public speaking events like newspapers, advertisements are few forms of the public communication. It will occur in a formal way. So the next question is, a low context culture is one where option A, most of the information is unspoken, option B, most of the information is stated in a verbal message, option C, most of the information is apparent, option D, most of the information is non-existent. Friends, low context culture is one where most of the information is explicitly stated in a verbal message is known as the low context culture. So option B is the correct answer. Friends, low context cultures are those that communicate information in direct, explicit and precise ways. I hope you understood this. Now the next question is, a person is more likely to use eye contact while option A listening, option B uninterested in communication, option C speaking, option D interpreting. Friends, when a person will use more eye contact while listening. So when we are listening to others, we maintain eye contact. So option A is the right answer. Now let us go to the next question. The way one interprets information around oneself is option A always negative, option B always positive, option C related to one's values, beliefs, past experiences, D none of the above. Friends, the one way interprets information around himself only, around oneself only, is related to one's his values, beliefs and also past experiences. So option C is the right answer. Now we will go to the next question. In interpersonal communication, ethics are interpersonal communication, communication between two or more people. That okay. Let us take it is a communication between two people. Then ethics will be, what is the what is the role of ethics in interpersonal communication? Option A important, option B communication barriers, option C ineffective, option D none of the above. Friends, in interpersonal communication, when I am communicating with another person, then their ethics are important. So option A is the correct answer. And I think you understood this. Now the next question is, an ethical interpersonal communication is that in any interaction between two persons, as long as one of them has a good purpose, it will be considered as ethical interpersonal communication. So people can be ethical in interpersonal communication. Now we'll go to the next question. Audio conferencing may be classified among the following types of communication. Friends, audio conferencing. Option A one-sided, option B two-sided verbal, option C one-sided non-verbal, option D two-sided non-verbal. Friends, the right answer is option B two-sided verbal. Audio conferencing. Yeah, both the receivers and senders are in the process of communication, and also receivers can give feedback through audio. So it is a two-sided verbal. Now the next question is, a fixed and categorized impression of a group of people based on a predetermined set of qualities is called. Option A generalizing, option B consistency, option C stereotyping, option D oversimplification. Friends, first understood the question. A fixed and categorized impression of a group of people on a predetermined, remember this keyword, predetermined set of qualities is called option C stereotyping. It is known as the stereotyping in the process of communication. Please remember. And friends, in social psychology, a stereotype is an overgeneralized belief. We are going to overstate about particular category of people. It is an unexpectation that people might have about every person of a particular group, and the type of expectation can vary. For example, an expectation about the group's personality, preferences, ability, etc. I think you understood this question. Now we'll go to the next question. The main assumption of primacy effect is option A, the most information is always that comes first. Option B, the most important piece of information comes in the last. Option C, the degree of importance depends upon the situation. Option D, all pieces of information carry the same weight. Friends, here the right answer is option A, primacy. In primacy effect, the most information is always that comes first. Friends, in simple way, the primacy effect means the tendency to recall the information presented at the start of a list. Start of a list better than information at the middle or at the end of the process. I think you understood this. Now let us see the next question. Friends, physiological noise, it is distraction due to physiological function. For example, headache, hunger, pain, these are the physiological noise in the communication. I hope you understood this. Now the next question is, which of the following documents is termed as the Magna Carta of English education in India? Option A, Charles Wood Dispatch. Option B, Macaulay Minutes. Option C, Mount Stuart Epistones Minutes. Option D, Varda System. Friends, here the right answer is option A, Charles Wood's Dispatch. Friends, Wood's Dispatch is also known as the Magna Carta of Indian education, and Wood's Dispatch was an act of 1854. It is implemented by the British rule. It implemented at the period of pre-independence, and the dispatch was presented by Sir Charles Wood. He was director of British East India Company, and as a result of Wood's dispatch, the character education department were established in every province, and universities at Calcutta, Bombay, Madras were opened for higher education. Friends, I hope you understood these points. Now we'll move to the next question. The next question is, which of the following agencies provide funding to Indira Gandhi National Open University? Friends, which agency is providing fund to the IGNOU? Option A, UGC University Grant Commission. Option B, MHRD, Ministry of Human Resource Development. Option C, both A and B. Option D, none of the above. Friends, here the right answer is, I think you know this answer. Yeah, option B, MHRD is the right answer. Friends, IGNOU stands for Indira Gandhi National Open University. It is the university at central level, and it is central university located in New Delhi. And this university is named after the former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, and it is established in the year of 1985 with the budget of 20 million. And IGNOU is run by the central government of India, and IGNOU was founded to serve the Indian population by distance and open education, and also provide quality higher education opportunities to all segments of society. Which of the following agency put forward the concept of proactive university? Option A, UNDP. Option B, UNESCO. Option C, AICTE. Option D, UGC. Friends, the right answer is option B, UNESCO. Proactive university concept was given by UNESCO. Now the next question is, which of the following pairs of authorities are at the top of hierarchy in case of central university? Option A, visitors and chancellor. Option B, visitors and vice chancellor. Option C, chancellor and vice chancellor. Option D, vice president and vice chancellor. Friends, at the top of hierarchy in central university, the correct answer is option A, visitors and chancellor are at the highest top in case of central university. I hope you understood this. Now the next question is, Which one of the following councils has been disbanded in 2013? Friends, options are option A, Distance Education Council, DEC, option B, National Council for Teacher Education, NCTE, option C, National Council of Educational Research and Training, NCERT, option D, National Assessment and Accreditation Council, NAC. So friends, here the right answer is option A, DEC, Distance Education Council is the right answer, because this is disbanded in the year of 2013. The Distance Education Council, which is known as the DEC, okay, and it has been dissolved and all regulatory functions are being undertaken by the UGC. Please remember these points. Now the next question is, the first inter-university center which was established by UGC in 1984 is option A, Inter-University Accelerator Center, which is known as Nuclear Science Center, option B, Inter-University Center for Astronomy and Astrophysics, option C, Inter-University Accelerator Center, formerly Nuclear Science Center, then option D, none of the above. Friends, the right answer is option C, Inter-University Accelerator Center. It is the right answer. Now the next question is, friends, Inter-University Accelerator Center was the first inter-university center to be established by the UGC in 1984. Please remember this. It is established in the 1984 by UGC. The main objective of the center is to establish within the university system a world-class facilities for accelerator-based research. Friends, the next question is, a federal system, option A, must have a written constitution, option B, must have unwritten constitution, option C, may have either written or unwritten constitution, option D, may not have any constitution. Friends, federal system, it must have the written constitution. Friends, here some more points are there related to federal system. Federal system, it is a system where power is shared by a powerful central government and also with the state governments, and states provides and to states are given considerable self-rule, usually through their own legislatures. And in federal government, central government can be powerful but does not have the ability to dissolve the states. Please remember this. Okay, and in federal system, the government power is divided between central government and state governments. Okay, now the next question is, the secular character of the Constitution of India denotes that option A, state has no official religion, option B, equal opportunity to everybody to profess, practice and propagate of religion of their choice, option C, single citizenship to assured to all people irrespective of their religion, option D, all of the above. Friends, the right answer is option D, all of the above. The secular character of the Indian Constitution, state has no official religion, equal opportunity to everybody and single citizenship. So all of the above is the right answer. Now the next question is, the idea of democratic decentralization in India was popularized by option A, E.D. Gorwala Committee, option B, Paul H. Appleby Committee, option C, B.R. Mehta Committee, option D, Ashok Mehta Committee. Friends, the right answer is option C, B.R. Mehta Committee, 1957. Friends, B.R. Mehta Committee is known as the Balwant Rai Mehta Committee. It was committee originally appointed by the Government of India in January 16, 1957. And this committee is appointed to examine the working of the community development program and also national extensive surveys. The chairman of this committee was Balwant Rai Mehta. The committee submitted its report in November 24, 1957, and this committee recommended the establishment of the democratic decentralization, which means Panchayati Raj. I hope you understood all these points. Now the next question is the maximum strength of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha respectively. Option A 552 and 250. Option B 537 and 275. Option C 525 and 238. Option D 545 and 250. Friends, here the right answer is option D 545 and 250 is the right answer. In Lok Sabha it is 545. In Rajya Sabha it is 250. Option A explains interrelationship among concepts. Option B is highly abstract. Option C broad explanation of phenomena in a discipline. D all of the above. Friends, here the right answer is option C. A grand theory is related to broad explanation of phenomenon in a discipline. Grand theory, it is a term given by the C. Wright Mills. He is an American socialist, and grand theory refers to the form of highly abstract theorizing in which the formal organization and arrangement of concepts takes priority over understanding the social reality. In Wright Mills' use, a grand theory is more or less separate from concrete concerns of our everyday life. Friends, the next question is which of the following description is true in context of defining a theory? Option A, an organized body of concepts and principles intended to explain a particular phenomena. B, tentative explanation that new data either support or do not support. Option C, act to drive further research. And option D, none of the above. Friends, remember keyword theory. Theory is related to an organized body of concepts and principles intended to explain a particular phenomena. In a theory, what we will do? We will explain related to particular phenomenon or principles or concepts will be explained here. For more information, theories are formed to explain, to predict, and also to understand the phenomenon or a subject. In many cases, challenged to extend existing knowledge within the limits of critical bounding assumptions. So friends, I hope you got this answer. Let us move to the next question. The approach which is based on the assumption that social phenomena can be explained by observing cause and effect is option A positivism, option B interpretivism, option C qualitative, and option D none of the above. Friends, I hope you know this answer. Here the answer is option A, that is positivism. I hope you got the answer. We will see some information about the positivism. Positivism is a philosophical theory, and it states that knowledge is based on natural phenomena and their properties and their relations. And positivism holds that society operates according to some general laws. Positivism holds that valid knowledge or truth is found only in the posteriori knowledge. Overall, positivism is related to that society operates according to the general laws. So the next question is which of the following is classified in the category of developmental research? Friends, this question is related to developmental research. And which of the following is classified in the developmental research? Option A philosophical research, action research, descriptive research. Friends, I think you know this answer. All these three researches are classification of developmental research. So here the right answer is option D, all of the above. Friends, developmental research is defined as it is the systematic study of designing, developing, and also evaluating instructional programs, processes, and also products. I hope you got this answer. Let us move to the next question. Match the following. Here list 1 and list 2. In list 1, some research types are there: experimental, historical, case study, D ethnography. List 2, criticism, control, interpretive, intensive and institutive. Friends, remember some points about experimental research. Yeah, in experimental research, a researcher is having control over the variables. So here experimental is related to control. And historical research, in historical research a researcher will criticism, then B historical is criticism. Then in case study is related to intensive, then ethnography, option 3 interpretive. So here the right answer is option D, experimental, control, historical, criticism, case study, intensive and ethnography, interpretative. I hope you got this answer. Please note all these points. And the next one is the type of research that tests hypotheses and theories in order to explain how and why a phenomenon operates. Descriptive research, option B predictive research, option C explanatory research and option D none of the above. Friends, in order to explain how and why a phenomena operates. So the right answer here is explanatory research. Please note this point. Explanatory research are attempts to answer how and why between two aspects of a phenomenon. For example, why and how study stress leads to any other diseases. I hope you got this answer. The next question is, when a researcher starts with the dependent variable and moves backward, it is called option A predictive research, option B retrospective research, option C exploratory research, option D descriptive research. Friends, when a researcher starts from dependent variable, again he moves backwards, this type of research is known as the retrospective research. I hope you got the answer. A retrospective research study looks backward and examines exposures to suspected risk. So it is known as the retrospective research. Here a researcher moves forward and again he looks backward. The next question is, research study that take place over a long period of time. Friends, you can judge the answer by looking at the question only. Long period of time is a keyword to find the answer. Option A cross sectional research, option B longitudinal research, option C research methodology, option D none of the above. Friends, research over a long period of time is known as the longitudinal research. So the correct answer is option B longitudinal research. Please remember this. A longitudinal study is an observational research. It is a type of observation research, and here the data is gathered on the same subject but repeatedly over a period of time. And longitudinal research, it may extend over years or even sometimes decades also. Friends, the next question is, hypothesis cannot be stated in. I think you have some knowledge about the hypothesis testing. It cannot be stated in null and question form terms. No, it can be tested. Declarative terms, it can be stated. General terms, yeah, but hypothesis cannot be stated in a general way. It is related to some principles. So here the right answer is option C, general terms. Yeah, it is the right answer. We will move to the next question. We will see some information about hypothesis. Hypothesis can be tested various tests depending upon the objectives of the research. And hypothesis testing means when we go for the hypothesis testing, either we accept the hypothesis or we reject the hypothesis. Let us move to the next question. Which of the following is the correct order of Stevens 4 levels of measurement? Friends, Stevens, he has given 4 levels of measurements. Option A, ordinal, nominal, ratio and interval. Option B, nominal, ordinal, interval and ratio. Option C, interval, nominal, ordinal and ratio. Option D, ratio, interval, nominal and ordinal. Friends, here remember that Stevens has given 4 level of measurement, and the first level is nominal and the last level is ratio. Then which is the right answer here? Option B is right answer. Nominal, ordinal, interval and ratio. Friends, this is the picture of levels of measurement given by Stevens. The first level is nominal, the second level is ordinal, third level is interval and the last level of measurement is ratio. I hope you got this answer. Let us go. Friends, thank you very much. Thank you for watching this video. If you find this video is useful to you, you can share to your friends and also subscribe to our Global Online University. And don't forget to subscribe to our mock test series. Thank you.